Sergeant Burton for bringing the group over here and being a part of our board meeting this evening. Mr. Zorn, can you call the roll, please?
Mr. Honeycutt.
Present.
Mr. Masters.
Here.
Mr. Myers.
Here.
Mr. Miller.
Here.
Mrs. Stellini.
Here.
Mr. Zorn's here. Mr. Riley.
Here.
And Mr. Williams.
Here.
Next item, please.
1.05, approval of agenda.
Well, we do have a revised personnel report, so we need to add this into. So,
Yes, and the good news is we did find a music teacher for Taylor Park.
Great.
So I revised it to include that.
okay, thank you.
Get them started as soon as possible.
Very good, absolutely. So, Mr. Honeycutt, will you amend your...
my motion.
Support as amended.
Can we also bundle those independent contracts together like from the last time?
Are they all the same thing? I think they are. Does the board have any problem with that? Either seven or eight.
They're all title funded.
Yeah. We can bundle them. That would be item number
601.
601 through 614.
614. 601, 614.
So is that the motion that you will make, Mr. Honeycutt?
Yes.
And the support, Mrs. Stellini? Okay. I have a motion by Mr. Honeycutt and support by Mrs. Stellini that we approve the agenda with the two amendments, one on the personal report and one with the combining of the independent contracts. Any discussion on that? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That passes 7-0. Next item, please.
1.06, student staff recognition.
I'm going to turn this over to Mr. Williams.
All right, thank you, thank you. Board President O'Reilly, would you be so kind as to join me? We'll have a nice photo op. You missed the last one.
Oh,
So tonight, it is my honor to kind of kick off the second edition of this. We started this last board meeting where we're trying each board meeting to recognize a student or students or a staff member or staff members who've been nominated by their administration or their supervisor in the district. And first, a big thank you to Susie Sweet, who's nominated Christy Menzer. Christy, are you here? Hello. Come on out. You ready for a nice photo op? So I get to brag on you here a minute. Come right around front here. Watch the cable. There we go. There you go. I'll hold it first of all. Let you hold that. Thank you. Folder for you. And you want to do the picture first, and then I'll brag.
Take two for good measure. There's one, there's two.
So Susie nominated you for all of your work working with the young folks at your school for noteworthy tasks to include Veterans Day fundraiser, donating proceeds directly to a veterans organization, beautification of Kenyon, your dog food drive, your canned food drive, donations to Fish and Loaves, and much, much more. So you really have a powerful student council over there. And I thank you for all that you've done.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Very worthy nomination. Thank you, Susie. Thank you. You'll send me that picture.
I just did.
Awesome.
That's great. What a lot of great contributions to our community and I'm sure the school as well. We have a motion tonight.
Motion to accept the presentation.
Support.
I have a motion by Mr. Zorn, and I have a support by Mr. Myers that we accept the staff recognition this evening. Any discussion on that? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That passes 7-0. What a great addition to our meeting. Wonderful. Next item.
1.07, approval of minutes. We have, just a second, we have
Next item.
1.08, payment of current bills.
Motion.
Support.
A motion by Mrs. Stellini and support by Mr. Masters that we pay the bills. Any discussion on that? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 7-0. Next item.
1.09, payment of current bills on hold.
There are none. Next item.
1.10, approval of requisitions. Motion. Support.
Motion by Mr. Zorn, supported by Mr. Myers, that we approve the requisitions as printed. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That passes 7-0. Next item, please.
1.11, approval of requisitions on hold.
There are none. Next item.
1.12, communications.
Does anybody have communications for the board tonight? Okay.
Excuse me. Would that be any concerns that we have?
No, sir. That'll be under audience participation. We'll give everyone an opportunity to address the board.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm not sure if you all received the MASB notice about the conference this year. It is in Detroit, so that would mean no hotel, no travel. It's November 10th through 13th, and tuition for the basic Friday and Saturday conference is, registration fee is $383. So if you're interested in attending, we need to get our registrations in, and normally Kim would handle that. And then if we could also look for the school law finance seminar that's in January. That sort of got missed and under the radar last year. So if we could look for the Parks and Plant Moran conference, I think that would be great.
There were some that did go to that last year, the finance, but
I just got in the mail today, which bring up to speed the new superintendent's, the prayer breakfast coming up, and I believe it's December 2nd. I just got that in the mail today.
Motion.
motion by Mrs. Delaney, supported by Mr. Masters. Any discussion on that? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 7-0. Next item.
1.13, ambassador updates.
Anybody have an ambassador update tonight?
I do.
Okay.
I went to Kennedy and Truman students they all applied for EMU, and then several of them, I know Kennedy had about, I want to say 156 students. We'd have 3 buses for Kennedy students go to EMU, and prior to going, they applied to EMU, and when we got there, they gave us all a letter. I was one of the chaperones there. All the students got their acceptance letter, and right at the bottom of their acceptance letter was how much money they're going to get. Bear with me, I got a head cold, so scholarships. But I want to say, just from the reaction, I didn't sit and talk to all the students, but I'm going to say almost every one of those kids that went got anywhere from $4,000 to $6,500 a year for 4-year scholarship. They got it all handed to them, plus it was a free application as well. They didn't have to pay to apply. So it was a great turnout with Kennedy and Truman students. So a lot of scholarships were already given out to these kids. So.
Anyone else?
I-
Go ahead.
Go ahead, I have 3.
Okay. Just a couple for Truman. Last week, there were about 20 students who attended the Jocelyn's Leadership Conference at Michigan State University, which, according to Scope, was quite a success for those kids who were able to join in. There have been ongoing career day or college days throughout the last few weeks. I think today was the day for Wayne State University for those seniors who wanted to take a period and go take a look at get some information on Wayne State with the upcoming college night coming up next. I think it's Tuesday, but I was looking for the date here. And then one other note, the Truman Band competed over the weekend at Walter Carlson and took a 3rd place award in a tough Division B class.
I just want to add one more thing with our Kennedy's homecoming. Wonderful turnout. Their homecoming football game was a phenomenal turnout. All you seen was, I don't think there was any fights or anything there. It was just a great everybody was getting along, there was some really cool things. They had a henna booth there, so it turned out, it was a wonderful game, wonderful homecoming, and a great crowd of people this year. So, thank you for letting me jump in.
Not this past Friday, but the Friday before, I toured all 3 of my buildings since the first week of school. I was out of town. Mrs. Mazuris from Rando sent a text to me, 2 of them. She said that she wanted to share positives before the board meeting. Wonderful start to the new year. It's on the 6th. They had an open house, and a company from Taylor, it's called Faurecia, made donations of supplies and backpacks to the family. Also Walmart recognized and honored Donna Cahalan, and she received $490 and an iPad. She was going to use that money to buy books for her students. Kindergarten friends are learning to be Randall students with the help of older students, and all were doing well on that day. And then she texted me today, 4th and 5th graders went to Walled Lake for a team challenge field trip. They had an awesome time facing challenges together and building stronger teams. The team leader asked them if they knew a song, and she included a video of them singing a song. Tomorrow we have an assembly for students reminding us how we have choices between positive and negative behaviors. And then tomorrow evening, they're hosting a family night, and they're having a presenter that will present on the difference between conflict and bullying. And she said she'd send more pictures later. And then finally this Friday, 1st grade class is going to the zoo and to build on knowledge on core content and science. And the 3rd grade will be touring the Rouge Grant. So that's Randall. The preschool, I didn't receive an update today, but I toured the building. Preschool, GSRP students have not started yet, but the teachers are all doing the home visits, and they were busy getting their classrooms in order, and all very excited about the preschool starting. And we have a waiting list for students since the Head Start program decreased their positions and consolidated part-time versus full-time positions. So before the meeting, I talked with Mr. Williams a little bit about that. And then finally, from the Career Center, Jackie Lancina is out for the day, but she had another staff member bring over her update and just said the Career Center kicked off the new school year with fantastic news. They were awarded $27,000 in Perkins funds, and the money will be spent on 20 new student computers, new textbooks in 4 of our programs, and transportation costs for field trips. The plasma cutter is up and running in the weld shop, and look for some exciting projects coming soon. Mr. Case and Mr. Horth will be receiving some advanced training in the next few weeks. The Case classroom has a new home. They moved from the Career Center building to the old Titan building and the Annex building. And Colleen Amazon and Jackie Lancina would like to extend a huge thank you to Thor, Leanne, and the entire utility crew. A celebratory thank you luncheon is being planned for early October. EMT students received a special treat. A former student of Mr. Dave Murray's is now a paramedic for Beaumont Hospitals. He gave both the morning and afternoon students a tour of the ambulance and spoke to them about his experiences as an EMT. Jeff Holmgren's CNC machine tools class will participate in Manufacturing Day on October 7th. They will be visiting Future Tools in Romulus. After the tour of Future Tools, they are off to Baker College for lunch, along with several activities exploring available jobs in the manufacturing industry. Manufacturing Day is a national event. This year, Michigan will have the most students participating. Over 4,300 students across the state will visit various manufacturing facilities, and we're happy to be part of this special day. Almost over. On October 6th, representatives from City of Taylor will be present in the lobby of the Career Center to assist interested students in registering to vote. This service will be available from 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. for all eligible Career Center and TVLA students. Mark your calendars. The CTE Fall Advisory Meeting will be November 2nd from 6 until 7:30. Our very own culinary students will be in charge of preparing and serving dinner for the event. Invitations to the fall advisory meeting will be sent out in early October. And then the enrollment at the Career Center has increased this year. We have students from Truman, Kennedy, TVLA, Thurston, Robichaud, Allen Park, Taylor, Preparatory School, and a homeschool student. We are very excited about continuing our mission to grow and all of the possibilities this school year brings.